Hey guys, welcome back to Kaizen Kai, where Kaizen's the aim and self-improvement is the game. I worked on it a little bit. Today, I want to make a video about my positive affirmation stars. Now these are really important to me because they represent a part of my life. Each one of these represent each year that I was born, so there's 19 of these stars, and they got crumpled up while I was finishing the top part of the basement, but it's okay. They're still going and they're still good. But basically, to give you guys a rundown about my positive affirmation stars, I was thinking about making stars because I wanted to like decorate the wall around my bed. And then I was like, what if I like write something on it? And so I wrote positive affirmations on them. And then I was like, okay, do I want to write just positive affirmations, or do I actually want to like make it more meaningful and personal to me? Because I could have just like looked at a list of like positive affirmations and then like wrote them down, but these I remember them because they actually have like meaning to my specific life and what I love and appreciate and who I am as a person. So the first one is I am. And I was 1 year old. That's because I was in the world. I am. And it's important to be present, right? Talking about presence in the moment. So I am was the first step. I grow. Was 2 years old. I'm growing. I'm getting there. I was only 2 years old. I don't really remember much, but I'm growing. 3 is I'm amazing. Now this one, my dad held me in his arms when I was a baby and told me that I was going to grow up to be an amazing person. And I got told that in 8th grade by one of my dad's close friends, and that was really good to hear. 4 is I'm extraordinary, and this is because I started my mom was saying I was learning colors, learning how to walk and talk and how hold full conversations just as is as a 4-year-old. So I was extraordinary. 5 is I'm good. This was when I had my first spit shake. I was 5 years old in New York, and I loved it. And I just started making friends and doing silly stuff, bro stuff, and being good and playing Guitar Hero and World of Warcraft. My dad let me do a lot of stuff. 6 is I'm capable. Now this, I didn't know how to do I didn't know how to do subtraction in kindergarten. So I'm capable was me finally learning that, because it was a tough learning curve on it, honestly. I was able to do addition because I drew the next line over and then counted after the first number, however that worked. But subtraction was completely different. It blew my mind. But 7 is I begin. And this was when I was trying to read all the books in the house. I started wanting to get super smart, and now I'm still trying to get super smart. So that's why I said I begin at the age of 7. At the age of 8 is I'm accountable. Now me and my brother James, shout out to him, I wrote that because when I was 8 years old in 2nd grade, me and him would always make deals with each other, and it was when I started learning how to be accountable. I didn't actually hold up to all my deals, but I started learning how to be accountable. 9 is I'm resilient, and I had to write my first essay in 3rd grade, and it was tough because it was really tough learning curve for me. I didn't know how to write essays. I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up just making a list, and then I ended up eventually sitting down long enough to write something, and I wrote about jellyfish. I was going to write about a video game, but I decided to write about jellyfish. And then the teacher told me that I was I had the best one out of everybody in that sheet. I learned so much about jellyfish. So that was cool. I still like jellyfish. 10 is I'm present. Now this is when I really got into my friend group that I'm still friends with to this day. All of these guys go way back. I won't say their names in case they don't want them said, but I really love those guys, and I still talk to them to this day. Like I said, back in 4th grade we started talking on the bus, on the playground, and now we're still friends to this day. 11 is I'm creative, and this was when I started making my first YouTube channel. So this isn't my first YouTube channel, but it's the first one that I've made in the last 5 years. So yeah, 5 or 6 years. But yeah, I also try to make my own video game on paper, those paper video games. So I just said like I was creative at that age. 12 was I'm open. Now this was when I got like my first girlfriend in 6th grade, and really just opening my friendships with people and really getting into like new stuff. Like I started listening to Juice WRLD in 6th grade when he was like coming out like brand new, and it was a really great time. I really love Juice WRLD. Still to this day, all these other people like hate on him. They never had that appreciation for him, and that's all I gotta say. 13 is persistent. Now, this was because I was in the most advanced classes in 7th grade, like that my school had to offer, all of the advanced classes, and I persisted. I made it through, and I was successful in all of them. Now, 14, I know it's a little bit early to be sharing this with you guys, but I did suffer traumatic loss, and I won't like say exactly who yet, but just know like that made me super empathetic, and I stopped focusing on like my schoolwork, and I just started focusing on like my feelings and what I wanted to do. And I bombed those classes in the second semester, but I really like grew myself as a person and really just felt comfortable with myself and knew that I needed like to think about more than just like grades and the future. I needed to be in the now. 15 is I'm strong. I came back from that traumatic loss and the events that followed. I might talk about that one day with you guys, but I'm strong. That was my freshman year. I wrestled my first ever year in wrestling that year, after doing 2 years of cross country in 7th and 8th grade. And yeah, it was a really great experience. I actually like made it to the blood rounds and regionals on my way to state in Florida, because I went to Florida for a year doing wrestling. So it was great. And I also like was killing all these classes, so I really made a comeback after my traumatic loss. 16 is I'm disciplined. Now, this was when I was back in Indiana, and my wrestling coach made me cut weight. I was like 126, and my coach told me to go down to 113, and I thought that was absurd because I was 113 my first ever year wrestling, but I was like a natural 113 pounder. I actually weighed like 109 sometimes, but cutting down like really made me disciplined because I had to lock in my eating. I had to lock in like going on like sauna baths and not eating lunch at school and just being miserable for days. And me and my wrestling brother Jaden, we'd always just like starve together. We became brothers over that hardship. 17 is I'm hardworking. And this was a year that I had like 2 jobs. I was doing lifeguarding and working at Dairy Queen. And I was also still in the most advanced classes. I was in like AP Physics, and AP Physics sucked. But, I'm hardworking. And I was also in like a bunch of clubs as well in 3 sports. So, yeah, I'm definitely hardworking. And 18 is I'm dependable. At 18, the wrestling team mom would always have me do a bunch of errands. You know what? I'll call her mom because she is a mom to me. She is 100%, and she hates it when I call her wrestling team mom because she is more than that, and I'll say that here now for her. Give her a little shout out, give her some love. And yeah, so she had me do a bunch of errands and stuff like that, and I would always drive the other ones to school and back, and myself as well. So I became dependable, and I also like won a really big duel for my wrestling team against Zionsville, so that was also really cool. And 19 is I'm grateful. I wrote that the most recently. I wrote all of these at the same time, but I just felt grateful for thinking of the positive affirmations idea and just being good. And I am grateful for all these moments, all these changes that I'm making. I'm even grateful now for making this YouTube channel and all these other positive things that I'm doing. And I know I'm talking fast, but there's only so much I can talk about in 10 minutes, with TikTok and stuff. But that's all I got to say. I'm really proud of these positive affirmation stars, and I want to pass them down to generations and make it a thing that my whole family does in the future. When I have kids and stuff, I want them to be able to make their own positive affirmation stars every year, along with blowing out their candles and stuff like that. And they can look at all my stars and what I've done and gone through, and they can find my story. And so that's just beautiful. And I have to cut it short, but I will see you guys another time and later.